How in the hell do you turn off your video inside of Roll20?
I didn't know you could turn your video on inside Roll20.
Before we start,
No, we had the same problem with Katarina. But no, if you go over to the My Settings tab, and then you scroll down, and then then there's a video voice. Mine are disabled and show nothing. So you go to the little gear sign above.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah.
So nothing disabled. Nothing disabled.
Also, if you have any questions for James that don't really have anything to do with plot or story, like it's just like a mechanics or inside baseball question, go ahead and send that in the chat and Roll20 to James. And it's at his discretion if he wants to respond in the chat or if he just wants to say, "Hey, by the way, you can do whatever."
Before we start, are we still keeping track of all the stuff we were keeping track of last time? Powers used, healing surges.
Well, we took an extended rest before we went down to the guards.
Did we?
We sat down and we set
I
up
don't think you
camp.
guys did. I remember.
I don't think so.
We went to the manor and we set up camp.
No, that was my idea. You just went straight to. I don't know.
Right, but we did go to the manor.
There.
We went to
the beer.
Well, we have the recording, which I do listen to. But we went to the manor, and then we went to inside the manor. And we set up camp. I was gonna take the kid down to the frickin' place, and it was just me. And then Ugami decided to come with me, and Bardock was supposed to stay at the camp. So we never actually specifically said we are going to take an extended rest. That's true, but we did set up a camp, and we did sort of that. The intent, I think, was to rest, but then I think Turin might have decided to go down and do something else. I don't know.
That wasn't what she said out loud. So I seem to be handed.
I don't believe so, but I don't. I haven't kept track of anything from last time. I have this now, and I'm planning on keeping track of everything from here on out because that's what James said.
I was keeping track of it from last time.
Well, you're special, and
It's about taking an extended rest.
Say what you say.
Short rest, but not an extended rest.
Okay. I don't. Do you have anything? Know of anything that I'm not supposed to use? Because I don't. The last fight, I didn't even get to fight. I didn't use any. I was crippled most of the time.
We'll worry about that when the time comes.
See, I use both my dailies, my utility daily and my actual form shift daily. And 2 healing surges, it says.
Huh, why don't I have both my dailies on here? Is this an old one? Yeah, Shield of Faith is a daily. But maybe it's not a utility power? Shield of Faith is a daily. Let me know when you're ready for a countdown, James.
Give me another minute or two to just finish gathering my things, and then I'll be ready.
Let's see if I can. I will be troubleshooting my network still. I know I'm on it now, but on one device, not the other.
Craig needs an invite for the chat again?
Okay. You mean Chris? Oh, Craig. I didn't even see he left. Why doesn't this remember it? Okay, there he is.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. We haven't started doing anything yet.
Okay.
Is everyone in Roll20?
Yes.
Looks like it.
All right. So rules of the
And
game.
before Austin complains again, there are pages you can't see, so don't worry about it.
Okay. So no interrupting. Try and be ready for when it's your turn. If you need to think, and instead of mumbling to yourself, you can just be silent. It's okay just to sit and think for 15 or 20 seconds. We'll all just sort of stare at you because it's your turn. But if you need to think about what you want to do, don't mumble. Maybe mute your microphone while you're thinking. That's okay too. And then when you're ready to go, just start going. If you mess up, I might ask you to repeat something if there's something that I didn't quite catch, or if it got garbled. If you have any questions, put them in roll. James can respond back however he likes. RP, no third person talk if possible. You can introduce it, but I've heard you can also just speak as you, and then it's pretty obvious that you're talking, but I guess that's just practice because I'm not very good at that either.
I mean, you can say, like, Turin wants to go check out that door, but it's that I don't want you guys introducing every sentence you say with Turin says, Ugami says, Elgric says. Like, you can just have a conversation as your characters.
I think it'd be better to almost most of the time try and talk in our characters and instead say, all right, this is me talking real quick. Hey, James, or whatever. So try and stay in character most of the time.
I mean, we can still play around with it until we find something we like. That's fine. Alright, let's get ready to go. So, no, Chris did not show up. Yeah, big surprise. Alright, let me... Okay, count me down.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, adventurers, and welcome to the Lousy Bums podcast. That's lousy, lizards of unusual size, E because it's and in Spanish and most of us are from Texas, and bums because these guys are jackasses. I am your dungeon master, James Pilgrim's Peace Mullins, and sitting across the digital table from me is Austin Madison,
Hello.
and you play...
I play Turin, a half-elf war priest.
Sitting to my digital left is Stephen Nelson.
Aloha. And I play Baladak, a half-dwarf, half-human warden.
And for now, that's going to be it, although we may have something else happen later. So, Stephen and Austin, what happened last week?
I think it should be Steven's turn.
You think this should be my turn, you stupid half-elf? You handed Okay. Last time on Lousy Bums, as it were, we actually ventured into the cave last time? Yes, we did. Sorry.
Actually, hang on. I want to we'll re-rack from this point, but since I considered like the previous episode's prologues, I'd rather just like introduce what's going on instead of doing a recap, because we want to treat this as like canonical episode 1. Doing a recap is weird.
Okay.
So
How are we going to introduce then?
We would just pick it back up with... I would just intro it at some point, so I can give you a couple seconds of silence, and then we'll go again.
Or do you want to give the backstory?
Yeah, because I'm essentially like starting from 0 at this point as far as main recordings are going to be concerned.
You could also just change the story around a little bit and make Turin not seem like such a stupid idiot running into the guards, giving him a baby. But
well, we don't have to bring that up. So just give me a few seconds of silence, and then I'll go again. Our story picks up when our group of adventurers have run afoul of some local guards. The guards contracted them to do a job, which was simply to go and retrieve a ring. And our adventurers, having met up for the first time, decided to go ahead and go get the ring. They shared some adventures along the way, made some friends, lost some friends, and when they came back, decided to they handed a child that they'd found over to some guards who turned out to not be quite so much on the up and up. And where the story picks up, you guys are going to meet our adventurers outside the city gate with several guards facing them, swords drawn. Things are getting tense. So, do you guys have any thoughts on what's going on before we actually jump into it? Anything you want to cover beforehand?
I would say that we would not be in this position at all if everyone had listened to me.
Okay, well, maybe someday people will actually hear what that's about if they listen to, if we have some prequel episodes that go up someday. We can see what happened then.
I just want people to know that I'm right, that's all.
Okay,
I
that's
want
fine.
I want you to know that, the situation that we wouldn't have been in if we had listened to you, you made it much, much worse.
That is true.
You made it worse.
I did.
And I'd like to say, before we get going, that this episode is brought to you by Bud Light Strawberry Splash. Bud Light Strawberry Splash. Why would you do this to yourself? Okay, so you guys are outside of town, and you have just seen a small child be carried away from you that was the kid that you rescued, and there are 12 guards standing around with swords drawn against there would be 4 of you, because Ugami is there as well, even though Chris isn't here. And he would have, the guards were like, drop your weapons. And how do you guys react to that? Ugami immediately drops his weapons, as does Draga.
I turn around and glare at Yugami, because he's gotten me into so much trouble, and pull out my hammer and gesture vulgarly at him, like you can tell that I'd be giving him the middle finger if I wasn't grasping the hilt, and tell him to pick them back up.
Draugr's like, I thought we were going to go shopping. I didn't really bring anything to deal with this sort of situation. I'm not getting involved. No, I think the wisest course of action is surrender. And Draugr, by the way, is a kobold worm priest that they convinced to join them while they were down off on their adventure that was sort of a prequel episode. And Ugami, who is a Wilden druid, also says, man, I don't want any part of them, eh? They seem pretty strong there, and I'm not gonna. I don't want to be stepping on no toes, so no, thank you.
I'm not moving. I am standing there, keeping my eyes on the guards, and I'm not moving at all.
Okay. The main guard that's come out looks directly at Barlodock and says, I'm not going to ask you again. Drop your hammer.
Barlodock shakes his head and goes, No, I don't think so. What exactly are you doing with these kids?
That's none of your concern. And then you see the guard raise his hand, and up on the walls behind you on the town gate, 6 archers lean over the edge of the wall up there and knock arrows and draw their bows.
I look over at Barlodock, and I look into his eyes. Do I see any hint of fight in Barlodock's eyes?
No, he's feeling pretty intimidated right now.
We can take them. Does the guard have a knife or anything on his belt that seems open or loose?
The guards all just have your standard one-handed shield and sword combo. Except for the guys up on the wall, they just have longbows trained on you.
How far away is he from me?
They're each about 10 to 15 feet away from you, but they're sort of encircling you at this point.
So they're circling us. Where in the circle, in reference to the town, is the lead guard?
He's still standing in front of the gate.
Stand in front of the gate.
Alright,
What-
Baladak lowers his hammer and says to the lead guard, hey, we're not leaving without our pay.
Oh, you're going to get your pay. Don't even worry about it. I need you to surrender your weapons and come with me. The captain wishes to speak with you, but he does not allow weapons in his chambers.
Turin starts walking away from the town. I understand I'm walking towards the circle of guards, but I'm walking away from the town.
Okay. The 6 guards that are on that end of the circle draw closer together and block your path and raise their swords threateningly.
Turin vanish. I vanish, seemingly out of thin air, and reappear 6 spaces away, directly behind one of the guards. And I reach around him and I pull his sword that he's holding close to his throat.
Okay.
I think you should let me and my friends walk away from here. I don't really feel the need to talk to you or your captain. I think I know what kind of payment we are going to receive anyways.
Okay. The main guard that has his hand drawn up in the air, kind of holding it up like an open hand, like he's signaling the archers. He closes his fist, and all 6 archers shoot the guard who you have your sword to his throat, or his own sword to his throat, killing him. And then the other 5 guards circle you again, swords drawn.
Barlock, they do not mean to let us leave here alive. It's a trap. We have to fight.
Hey, can I do an insight check here?
Yeah, go ahead. On what?
I do not think they actually mean to hurt us. Can I see that? What check would that be?
Yeah, just roll an insight, yeah.
Right. Let me just bring up my bonus for that again because I don't have it memorized off the top of my head. Insight plus 3. Let's roll 1d20 plus 3. I got a 19.
You know that the guards have orders, or you can perceive that the guards have orders not to let you leave, but that they are not going to harm you if you'll just do what they say.
Alright.
So when I vanished, I was behind the guards. So they wouldn't have been able to. There'd be 2 small circles then. If they surrounded me.
There was the big circle up top of the 6 guards up there, and then there's a smaller semicircle that kind of condensed down to block your way. And you said you vanished and ran around behind them.
Yes.
And had your sword to one of their throats.
And then they killed that guy.
They would have seen you reappear behind that guy because you're only invisible for 6 seconds.
And that's fine.
Okay. Uh-huh.
But how fast? So as soon as they would have attacked him, you're saying that then some other guards went around
the archers
me, or
were firing. The 5 guards that you did not hold a sword to the throat of would have reformed.
Alright,
they just killed one of their own guys, man. I don't trust them.
But
he failed to do his job.
I'd actually drop my hammer, alright, and hold my own hands up in the air. And I walk slowly towards the lead guard. And
Ugami and Draugr follow Barlock.
Yeah, I actually offered to surrender.
You offer what?
To surrender. Like, well, he goes, we'll come meet you, Captain, as long as we get a weapon back afterwards. And he hands over his shield and Katarina's javelin.
As long as the captain does not issue me orders otherwise, the main guard says, your equipment will all be returned to you as soon as you leave his chambers.
Thank you. Do we go see him right now?
If you can convince your friend over there to come with, it's an all-or-nothing deal.
Baladite turns to Yurami and gestures seemingly persuadingly to come closer to him.
He wasn't
If the
talking.
gods allow that.
He was talking about me because
I
I'm
guess
still.
you turn. I'm sorry, turn.
Yeah. I'm standing there. I don't trust anything. I look like a caged animal who could strike at any second.
Alright, I roll to persuade. Turn then.
Before you do that, the lead guard will say, if you don't come into the town immediately, I will order my archers to fire, I will order my swordsmen to strike, and we will see who the most powerful person here is.
That's kind of the idea, yeah.
Do you really think you can take 17 of us?
I can kill a couple of you and run.
Okay.
Alright,
He's going to consider that a threat. And since they were already poised and ready to fire, they're going to get a round of action before you do. So I'm going to have each one of them roll an attack, the archers up top. That's a miss. That's a miss. That's a nat 20.
Oh, come on.
That's a hit. That's a miss. And that's a miss. So only two of them are actually going to hit you.
Okay.
And that's going to be... that's going to be 34 damage.
So, would I have? I mean, was there any? Did they do anything to make me think that they were going to do something?
He gave you about 10 warnings to drop your
No,
weapon.
I'm talking about. Did he close his fist? Did he do an action to tell them to fire?
He said if you don't do it, I mean, I would have assumed he would have opened his hand and closed it again, giving the archer some order to fire.
And I wouldn't have.
Not,
I wouldn't have had any time to react from that. You're saying?
I'm saying that they already had their bows drawn and aimed at you, and he told you if you weren't going to do it, that they were going to kill you, and then you said, well, I'm going to take as many of you with me as I can, which they would perceive as a threat.
Well,
and he would
okay, so, quick question. When can I use an encounter power? Do I have to be in a fight? Because I was trying to plan to do Stone's Resolve, which makes me basically become a stone.
Okay.
Before they hit me. But I mean, I understand that if there was an encounter, they would have had...
This is basically I'm considering it a surprise round because they were poised and ready and aimed at you and said, hey, don't do anything, and you basically said, I'm going to kill you all.
Alright, that's fine. So I'm fine with taking 34 damage, because I'm still alive, I'm not dead.
You have 35 HP, you know that, right?
I have 40.
40? I only have you as having 35.
You can look at my camera real quick. It's got 40 on my sheet. This is what you said.
I guess I haven't. Okay, fine. So you're...
Well, I'm still bloodied. I can't really do anything.
You're at 6 HP out of 40. You really want to do this. I'm
really screwed up. So I take a knee because I'm really bloodied, and I got shot, I guess, in like some nice fleshy parts that had some really nice wounds. And I look up at the main guard, and then I put my staff on the ground.
A wise decision. Don't worry about that. We'll get you patched up once your meeting's over. If every adventurer that we tried to take to meet the captain, if we had to kill all of them, we have a lot more dead bodies down in the basement than we already do. So let's all just go inside and talk to the captain, and everything should work out.
Okay.
Baladak laughed grimly and walked over to Terran to help get him back to his feet. just rest on his arm for a moment.
Okay, so the guards will escort you guys through town for a little bit, and you walk down a bunch of streets and down towards where the main hall is in town, like the largest building that you would be able to see, and you guys go inside, and off to the left you see what looks like the main guard area. Like there's bars inside this keep, and it looks like a guardhouse. It looks fairly nicely appointed, and they wave you through, and they go up this big set of stairs, and they go into this main room, and the main guard that's been escorting you this whole time, he opens the doors and says, "Her Honor will see you now." And you look in, and you see a nice, large room. And if you are in roll 20, you should be able to see this now. Let me reveal the area. Come on. Roll 20's giving me crap. Can you guys see it?
I see a black room.
I don't know why it's not letting me reveal areas. Let's all just be quiet for a second while James figure out why roll 20 is giving him crap.
I can see a little bit now. There it goes.
That should be everything you guys need to see. I had some trouble with the page toolbar. I apologize. So you guys should be able to more or less control yourselves on roll 20, except for that person. Don't worry about it yet. And so guys, put yourselves wherever you want to be in the room, and we'll keep going.
Oh no, Drag the Mighty should have stayed outside. Oh no, that's not Drog, it's Bud.
Oh, Drog's in there too. Jarga.
I'm disappointed in Drog. When I see Drog, I'm gonna give him hurt eyes.
Okay. So you guys have any thoughts when you walk in? Do you guys you guys are just gonna lurk in the doorway? You're not actually gonna walk inside?
I'm actually gonna walk inside towards the knight in the middle and do a I'll just look around to the room as I'm walking in and perception check time.
Okay. You see a few tables that have a bunch of food laid out. You see some various pottery that looks like it's probably holding some kind of oils, maybe some kind of apples. You see a table that's got a bunch of weapons on it over in one of the corners, daggers, swords, that kind of stuff. Then you see two guardsmen. One of them you recognize as Greg from the guy that gave you the original job where you guys all met each other. And you see another guard whose name you don't know. And then you see a large hulk of a man. This guy is almost like 8 feet tall, head to toe, dressed in plate armor. Looks like he could crush your head if you put it in between his forearm and his bicep and flexed really hard. This guy is just massive, and he's holding a two-handed greatsword in one hand, indicating that he's incredibly strong. And when he sees you guys walk in, he turns and beckons to you, and you hear him speak, and he says, "Oh, why don't y'all come on and sit down over here, and we'll have ourselves a little chat. That sound good? That sound good? All right."
Baladak nodded slowly, his eyes lingering on Greg, and moved to actually take a bench. Rather, I sit down on one of the benches.
Okay. And Draugr walks in, And Runner's like, Drago, what are you doing here? I told you you weren't supposed to come back into town. You know better than that. And Drago's like, says, well, these guys convinced me that things would be okay if I came into town, and that everybody would be okay with me. To which Captain Runner replies, well, I'm sorry that they misled you, but I'm going to have these two gentlemen take you away now. And so Greg and the other guard walk over, and each of them put one arm under Draugr's arms, and they walk him off. And you don't know where they're taking him. They don't really say. But they have taken Draugr away. And Captain Runner says, now, on to the business at hand. What have you guys been doing with yourselves? I mean, Greg's told me some things, but I'd like to hear from you.
I grimace for a moment and shove away the related weaponry on the table in front of me to lean on it, and tell him that we found the cave. That we not only did we find the cave, he says, but we found the stacks of bones in it, and one of our own companions was dissolved by a creature that we didn't recognize.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Didn't mean for y'all to go down there. That's something we've been trying to deal with, and hadn't been super successful at it lately. You see by all the bones down there, but we've been trying to get it well in hand. I apologize. Sorry about your friend. Is there anything we can do for you? Would you guys like some sort of there's food over there on the table if you'd like a hot meal. If you guys want to shower or get any kind of rest, we've got accommodations for you in here. We can take care of you. Just let me know what you need.
What about the child?
The child? What child?
The boy that we brought with us to the town that the guards took back towards the manor.
They hadn't told me anything about a child. I'll have to look into that. And as he's saying that, Greg and the other guard walked back inside, and he looks over, and Her Honor says, Greg, they were telling me that they brought back a child, and they were wanting to know what happened to it. And Greg looks at him and says, I don't know anything about that. And so Her Honor says, well, I'm going to need you guys to go check on that, okay? And both the guards say, all right, and they head back out. And Her Honor says, is there anything else you guys need?
Baladak, I shake my head for a moment and stand back up, almost seeming to try to match his height, one for one. Although he only comes up to about his shoulder, really. And looks up at Captain Fauna and asks him, what are the Oni?
What'd you say, Stephen? I'm sorry, I couldn't.
Sorry, I stand up and try to tower and match Captain Fauna's height and use diplomacy to ask him what the Oni are.
Okay.
Hey man, what are the Oni? We found a letter.
Using diplomacy, I'm going to need you to roll it.
Yeah. Greg sent us to give a letter, and there was this ring, and it said to protect against the Oni.
Okay, well, if you're trying to actually get information out of him and you want to use diplomacy, just give me the roll.
D20, unfortunately. Oh, that's a natural one.
I don't know what you saw. That must have been some of the other guards playing a joke on each other. They like to do that, keep something morale. But I don't know. I've never heard anything about no Oni, and I don't know what you would have seen. But that's not really. I mean, we can discuss that sort of thing in the morning. Y'all look somewhat tired and beat up. Why don't y'all go? I'll have Greg and Teronius over there escort you guys to some rooms. You guys can get some rest, and we'll discuss what happened in the morning. I'll get to the bottom of this.
And can we get our weapons back once we leave this room?
Yeah, I'll have them deliver the weapons to your room, and you guys will have all your gear back as soon as you get there. I just, there's I am aware of some less than seemly types around town, and I've been worried that some of them may even be in my own guard, so I just don't allow weapons in here. It's a security measure, you understand.
All right.
Yes, yes, we do, but
I'm starting to limp over close to the guard to go lie down and get patched up.
Okay. And Ugami's going to follow you, and Barladock, you going to do the same?
yeah, Baladog steps back after them and turns for a moment and says, "Well, if you never need any help figuring that out, you know where we'll be staying," and follows them out of the room.
Okay. When you guys get to the door, the other two guards are like, all right, if you'll just follow us. And they lead you back down the big stairs away from Captain Hronner's office, and they lead you down a couple of corridors, and you just see, like, guards milling. You see Shh! You see guards milling about, doing random menial tasks. Some of them are sweeping, some of them look like they're cleaning weapons or sparring. Some of them look like they're actually standing guard, which is an interesting thing for guards to do. And they lead you down some more stairs and around a corner, and there's this big door, and they say, all right, the guest quarters are through here, and they open the door, and they say, just right this way.
Alright, I follow them into the room, and one of the first things I look for is my displaced weapons. Because I'm feeling pretty paranoid. Baladog is feeling pretty paranoid about being down here.
Okay. And
Turin's going with them. He's just following them because he's pretty beat up.
okay, Ugami would also follow you guys in, and as soon as all three of you are in the room, you hear the door slam behind you, and you hear a bar slam down on the other side of the door, and you see Draugr, and he looks pretty beat up, and he's curled up in the corner of the room, and in the other corner of the room, and I sincerely hope Craig is here right now. Craig, you can talk now.
I'm here.
Okay. In the other corner of the room, you see a huddled figure, and I'm going to let Craig introduce his character and tell us a little bit about him, and then we'll get back into it.
Alrighty. My character's name is Eldrick Warbearer. I am a dwarf, and I am a warlock. So back in my past, my father offered my soul to the Infernal Lord, and now I have a contract with the Infernal Lord in order to complete his tasks and send him the souls of my fallen. So that's a little quick background on my character. So right now, where am I at? Do I just place my character anywhere in here?
You guys aren't actually in the room that's on Roll20. I only actually design maps if there's a chance you guys are actually going to fight in them.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, this is just role-playing, so don't worry about setting your piece anywhere. Just
Okay.
you guys are going to have a conversation about what's going on.
Okay, so right now I'm like huddled over, in the bar, have my fresh meat.
Whoa, you're in a dungeon, champ.
I'm a
They locked you
dungeon.
in.
Okay, so I'm locked up.
Yeah. And these guys have just been led down to the dungeon where you have been for whatever reason, and their kobold friend is in there with you.
Okay. So I'm huddled in the corner, just whispering to myself. I don't think anyone can hear me. Just whispering to myself.
All right, Turin's gonna go find a place to go lie down and go to sleep. He doesn't even notice anybody else.
Alright, I attempt to perform a heal check on Turin to see if I can bandage up his bleeding body.
So can I interject at any time?
Yeah, this is all you guys.
Cool. So it looks like you guys had a good time. What happened there with the leg?
Bardock glanced over from where he was leaning over Turn's body, and shrugged silently for a moment. He goes, "And what did you do to get down here?"
Ha! You wouldn't want to know. You're too young for me.
Oh my god, if you're gonna do that accent this whole time, you're the best.
But he said, "Actually, do you need to know? I mean, how do we get out of here?"
We're locked in the cage. Where else is there to go?
"Back through the door, ideally," he said, lifting up an eyebrow. "And how am I bandaging? Are there bandages around? Can I use the cloth on one of the beds if there's one?"
You can do that if you really want to, but I mean, just mechanics-wise, if you guys just deal with it and go to sleep, after a long rest, you get all your HP back anyway. So
I see.
he would just heal if you go to sleep.
So I am already asleep, unless someone tries to wake me up.
And I'm still just off in the corner, just whispering.
Alright, Bardock moves over to the dwarf and almost half kneels down, crouching to bring themselves about the equal height, and reaches out to shake him back to his senses.
Wait, shaking me to my senses?
Trying to.
Buddy, you wouldn't want to do that for who I'm talking to. There's no interruptions. Be gone with you. Back with your friend. Looks like he needs more help than I.
I grimace and move off to Draugr, leading the madman to huddle in the corner and sit down next to him and ask him, how are you doing, Draugr? What did they do to you once they took you away?
I've been better. they were pretty rough.
And have you been in here before, my friend?
No, this is new.
Tell me, do you think you could actually break down the door?
Not right now. I'm gonna need to rest for a while. Just let me go to sleep. I think Turin's got the right idea. We'll deal with this in the morning. I don't have any magical energy left.
Alright, I leave them to rest and actually lay down myself and try to get some sleep in this forsaken place.
Eldrick, are you going to just be chill in the corner, or are you going to mess with any of these guys since they all went to sleep and didn't actually check on you at all?
I think since Eldrick is very interested in these guys, just coming in the condition that they are, kind of want to do like an insight check, just to see where they stand. Are they a threat to me? Are they considered allies, or are they just little weaklings I just constantly meet in the cells?
That'd be more perception, because insight's just if somebody speaks to you, if you can tell whether or not they're lying.
So I'll do a perception check.
What can you perceive while we're asleep?
I don't know. I could like kind of look up like where just your clothing, where I kind of get a sense of where you guys are from since I've been around for a while.
They seem pretty beat up, and they also seem very asleep. So yeah, they don't seem like too much of a threat.
Okay. All right, then if that's the case, Eldrick will just go back, and just fall asleep.
Okay. You guys take a nice long rest, and when you wake up in the morning, you feel a lot better. Turin, you would get all your hit points back. Ugami and Draugr would as well. And in the morning, you wake up, and what do you do?
I wake up and I actually go to inspect the door, not actually trying to bust it down, but seeing if the bar on the other side has been removed to allow it to open.
Okay. You push up against the door, and it is very obviously still locked.
Alright, looking around to the room for anything we can use, tools, implements, or even a barred window.
Give me a perception roll.
Which is at +8. Mostly looking for any way to get out. As it were, my perception check was 11.
You look around, and you don't really see anything that you would be able to use to effectively break down the door.
Then I take a deep breath and actually hammer into the door as hard as I can, intending to make noise on the other side and draw attention.
So could I interrupt at any time?
Yeah.
Did
So
they strip
Eldred
us
just
about
wakes
their...
up like in a kind of like a shot. And someone just scares him to sleep. Like, what the hell is going on? Madman! You ain't gonna open up that door by shaking.
Malodite turns with clenched fists and almost snares at what is effectively one of his ancestors, and actually shakes both fists at him instead. Neither will cuddling in that corner like a fool, before turning back and actually performing his original action and hitting the door.
And then Eldrick will just respond, "Ha! Only a fool would let his friend get shot by an arrow." And he'll just be smirking, and then Eldrick just pulls out of his bootstraps a pipe, and he just lights it with his hands and starts smoking his pipe in the corner.
Out of character, do you have that ability? Can you just conjure fire?
Well, I'm assuming since I'm like an Inferno pack, I could at least just light something on fire.
He has it as an encounter. He can summon basically a ball of fire.
Okay. That's
Why
fine,
is he sitting in the corner?
Not like a huge ball of fire, but just like enough just to light my pipe.
Okay, that's fine.
Hey,
That could be potentially a problem later if you were just like, I can make fire, and then I look at your character sheet and I'm like, no. But yeah, okay, that's fine. Moving on.
Alright, cool.
Turn, are you awake yet?
give me a second. Yeah, it's a fiery bolt. It says encounter. It's basically just a
If he can
firebolt.
conjure a fiery bolt, I'm assuming he can like flick his thumb and make a cigarette lighter. Like that's fine.
So it does say that it is a ranged attack with his crossbow, but he doesn't have a crossbow.
It's just flavor.
Right.
Let's just pretend I just wake up and I don't smoke a pipe. I just bring out my pipe. I have no matches, so I'm like just even more irritated at the situation because I can't light my pipe.
You can conjure fire if you want to. That's fine. I just wanted to make sure there was some sort of character sheet basis for it.
Yes.
Well, I have a fiery bolt, but I feel like isn't that skill kind of like a one-use kind of deal? It's not like one of my automatics.
Don't
Yeah,
argue with the DM when he's letting you do what you want. You wanted to use a fireball. He's saying you can use a fireball.
I'm making a big flame, and I light my pipe, and I start smoking it just to relax for the morning.
Did they take the rest of our gear? Or is it only our weapons? Like, would I
You
still
still
have my
have your
shield?
armor.
All
and
right.
The only thing they took from you was your weapons.
Okay.
So you don't have your hammer. Austin doesn't have his mace.
I would like to try and use Dimension Shift to get onto the other side of the door. It doesn't say you vanish. It says Dimension Shift. That's the actual... I'm trying to find more information about it. It doesn't... I can't see anything other than what I have on my character sheet. I can't find it in Hero Lab. But it's as a dimension shift. I'm assuming that I can shift dimensionally, meaning to disappear one place and reappear not one other place, not just turn invisible. So I should be able to dimension shift on the other side of this thing, right?
What is dimension shift? Is it a power? Is it?
It's a theme feature for a spelled scarred harbinger. That is what it is under. It's under my theme features, and it is vanish. But I can't actually dimension shift. Once per encounter, you can teleport up to 2 squares as a minor action. And then I have something else called Vanish, which is once per encounter as a minor action, you can become invisible until the start of your next turn. So there's 2 things. There's Vanish, which is basically becoming invisible for the 6 seconds until the start of my... Wait. Once per encounter as a minor action, you become invisible until the start of your next turn. So that's more than 6 seconds. And then Dimension Shift...
Okay, so it says you can teleport 2 squares?
That's what it says. You can
I'm going to
teleport
rule
2
that you
squares.
can't do that unless you can see where you're going, so no, you would not be able to teleport out of the room.
But okay, so like if there was a glass window, then I could teleport through a wall, even if there was a small amount of glass.
Yes.
If I can see, but since I don't know if there's somebody on the other side, I might vanish. I might dimension shift into somebody else.
Yeah, and I didn't realize my mic wasn't muted there, and I was eating through that, so I apologize.
All right, so that's good. I'll cut all this out anyways. So.
That's true. This is all just rules lawyering. Yeah, you have to be able to see where you're going.
That's cool. I like that though. That's good rules. All right. Turn sits up and stretches a little bit. And he looks around, and he seems. I seem very surprised when I look at this dwarf over in the corner. I get up and I walk to wherever he is in the room, and I said, "Well met, traveler. What is your name?"
My name is Aldrich, a brewer, a war brewer. My bad.
Say it again the right way.
My name is Aldrich, war brewer.
Nice to meet you, war brewer. I'm not quite sure what brought you here, but I think our first concern is trying to figure out how to get out of here and what these intentions of these guards are. Hey, Barlodoc, come over here for a second and stop trying to break that door down with your thick skull.
Barlodoc mumbles under his breath that at least a thick skull is better than the empty one, but walks back over to Turin. What is it?
Alright, so this is what we know about the guards. I'd like to do a perception check real quick. As I'm talking, I'm going to look around and see if there's any windows, not windows, but anything that would give me of someone listening in. Would that be perception?
I'm not even going to make you roll for that. You're in a solid stone room. There's no windows. There's only the one door. That's just a big solid piece of wood that you came in through. It's like a big stone cube.
Alright, so this is what we know about the guards. It seems that the captain is unaware or is playing that he doesn't understand what the guards are doing. He's obviously a big guy, but he might not be the ringleader or the person who actually controls the guards. So we should be careful in talking to him because the questions that you are asking could get you in trouble, Barlodoc, because you might make him act outside, against his own will. He might have to hurt us or put us to death because he might have to choose between us and the guards, and we don't know where he's leaning right now. So we should be careful the questions we ask. We should try and listen to more what he has to say. Once we can try and get some information, we can try and figure out if there's any strange things that he does hear, has he heard about. Because if we just ask him what's going on, he's probably going to say everything's doing great. And then Elgrick.
Yeah.
Let me give you some background while we have some time. I don't know if they're going to take all three of us out together, but it seems that some of the guards here have something going on, and they seem to be taking some children and giving them to some creatures as some sort of protection or some sort of appeasement. I'm not sure what's going on.
Paladin remembers demon worshippers under his breath.
You can just
You don't know that though.
say like
Yeah.
you
Okay.
gotta just talk, man. Don't
Okay.
say your name
Okay.
before.
Sorry.
Can we reset that?
Yes.
All right, and go.
So these guards seem to be some shady characters in them. Some of them seem to be taking these kids and giving them to these creatures.
Demons.
We're not quite sure. We're not sure what's going on. We're not from here, but we've gotten caught up in some of this, and I don't think we're quite sure how far we're willing to go with this, and we don't know how big it is.
Far enough to get our weapons back, at least. We can't do anything while we're caught in here, you stupid elf.
You were walking in here blind. I tried to fight. How am I stupid?
You got skewered by half a dozen archers on the city walls.
And yes, I made them fight to bring me in here. You dropped your hammer and walked in here. You gave up. So don't call me some stupid elf. And then I punch in the shoulder.
So Elgrick is just laughing in the corner just about the whole situation that's happening. Like, ah, this is wonderful.
Yes, so we're just going to sit here and wait until they can come and get us before we start to try and break that door down. I say we give them another hour or two.
So kind of off topic. I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm supposed to do this or not. But since I have pretty much a high streetwise for like cities, towns, and villages, could I like attract a guard to figure out what's like if this is like a common thing, what's happening with children in this city?
If you want to try to get a guard to come talk to you, yeah, just bang on the door.
Okay.
Right, but all right. So you can get up and start walking and start banging on the door, but I don't think it's gonna
Getting a
help.
guard to talk to you isn't really streetwise. Streetwise is like knowing things about the city. Like you'd roll streetwise if you wanted to figure out if this was a common occurrence without talking to a guard.
So could I do that then?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, cool. So I just roll a d20 plus my streetwise.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so this real quick. 27.
Yeah, guards sacrificing children to demons is 100% not a normal thing.
Okay. With all my time down here in the shadows, I have never heard of such stories of children.
Ugami chimes in from the corner and says, yeah, it's pretty fucking weird, eh?
Could I roll like a perception check to see like how old this cell is, like the doors that are holding us or confining us?
Sure.
To see if there's any like weak points or anything.
Yeah, go ahead.
That'll be an insight check, right?
That would be insights. The only thing insights for is like
It's like okay, from
detect
people.
motive, like if someone's telling you the truth or not.
So it'll be perception.
Yes.
Okay, so.
Or I guess technically you could use dungeoneering if you wanted to.
So I got a 16.
Okay. The door is made of wood, and you think that if you were able to get a strong enough force behind it, you could break through the door.
Okay. So then, Ogre, so I had to speak out loud. So how badly do you lads want to get out of here?
Well, based off of the guards who brought us down here, they don't seem to be telling their captain the truth. They could have told him that we just decided to leave in the middle of the night and not come back. How long have you been down here? How long has he been down there, James?
Oh yeah, this will be a James question.
That's totally up to you, dude. How long you want to be in jail?
Okay, cool. Ever since after the fight in the bar, I've been down here for about 3 days now.
All right, I think it's time for us to get out. How about you? See what you can do about that door?
Whoa, hold on there. What do I get out of this?
To get out of jail, dumbass. We will help. We will help fight any guards, and we will help to see that you get out of this dungeon with us. After that, you're free to go your own way if you want, but you help us get out of here, and we'll help you get out of here.
But so far, I started a fight in the bar and got thrown down here. You got shot in the leg and got thrown down here. I'm a little worried about the circumstances.
It did seem kind of weird that they killed a guard to take us in here. When they were,
I know nothing of that. I've been down here the whole time.
when they were trying to get us to come down here, I was holding a guard in front of me with a knife to his throat, and instead of trying to kill me, they killed the guard in front of me. So they killed one of their own guards to take us down here. I don't think they're going to
Show
let us-
mercy to us.
Yes, I don't think they're going to show any mercy to us. I think we need to get out of here while we can. If we meet the captain, I don't think we should fight. I think we should try and tell him the truth. Otherwise, we should try and get out of here.
Well, then I hold up my hand and shake my head and go, no, we find Greg.
So just add a character, since I don't know anything about the backstories, I just want to make an insight check just to make sure they're telling the truth.
Smart.
Okay.
Okay. So insight 2. Okay. 13.
Okay, and if Barladoc and Turin want to contest this, you would roll a will save. If you don't want to contest it, then I'll just tell him whether or not this is true.
No, I don't want to contest it.
Steven?
I don't want to contest it either.
Yeah, they're telling you the truth.
Okay.
I don't think we should wait for Greg, because Greg is, I think, the ringleader of the whatever bad guards that are going on around here. He was the one who started all this in the first place. And if you want to come back in a couple of days and kill him, I'm cool with that. Otherwise, I don't think we need to stay down here in the city any longer.
I grin and point at Turin and go, kill him? No. We're going to drag him out to that cave and let him have a taste of his own medicine.
I am also okay with that. But right now, I would like to try and get out of this dungeon.
When we come back, they'll know.
Well, yeah, but when they're going to come back to kill us, which is clearly what Turin believes.
Okay, could I make it like an insight check or a perception check to see if there's like any rats or just some type of little critters around the cells?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. This is kind of a big deal for me.
Hey, Craig.
Yeah.
You should probably just ask James your questions and let him prompt you when to roll. Because sometimes,
if you ask to make a roll, I will always make you roll. But sometimes you can just ask something, and I'll be like, "Yeah, that's fine."
Because you would probably be able to just look down and see. Like perception is like if you hear something on the other side of the wall, how well can you hear it, and that's based off of your skills. So you
the rats are biting me toes.
Right. You can just
Okay,
ask
so
James.
could I just ask, like, if I'm looking around in the cell or outside the cell in the hallway, if I could see any kind of type of creatures or anything?
Yeah, there's definitely some rats milling in and around, and like there's little holes on the base of the room where the rats are getting in and out of. But yeah, there's a couple rats around.
Okay.
Well, go come over here and see if you can help me break this door down.
So
Physical strength's not really my jam. You guys got it. You look strong.
So Eldric's gonna stand up and like do his little stretch. First stretches in the morning, bend down, do his like toe touches and everything. Get up, get ready, get limbered, and then I'm gonna walk towards the cell door, and I'm gonna find some type of rat that's in the hallway, and I'm gonna cast Eldritch Blast on the rat, just to make it explode in flames, just to make it like enough noise to make the guards come and just for to bring their attentions to run towards our cell, just to see what's going on.
Okay, so you're doing this in the cell?
In the cell, and I'm like, is there a way I can reach my hand out to cast this through the cell, or is these type of cells I can't like move my limbs through or at all?
Oh, it's a solid wooden door. Like, you can't see out into the hallway at all.
So let me read this real quick.
There's rats in the room. You could do it inside.
So is there like some type of opening in the door where I could look through, or if someone picks me up?
Because if we could, I would have been able to do dimension shift to the other side. So there's nothing that we can see over there. However, Ulgrich, if you can damage the door even a little bit so that we can see on the other side, I can get over there and I can remove the bolt.
All my skills only work on living beings, my friend. I doubt this wooden door is alive.
All right. I pick up one of the rats. Then I wedge it underneath the door, probably killing it.
It's flush to the floor. You can't do that.
Fuck. All right. So I put it up as to the edge of it as much as I can.
Totally fine.
And then I say, all right, do your magic on this thing, and let's see what happens.
Alright, so just like before I cast, it's like, alright, my friends, you're ready for a good time. I hope one of you have skills to hide from these guys. So then I just cast my spell onto the rat, just making it explode in flames, like this huge loud noise, like a M80 or some kind of crazy firecracker, just to attract their attention on the rat.
Nice. So is the door on fire?
What does Eldritch Blast read?
So it says, at first level, you determine whether your charisma or constitution to attack with this power. Once you make this choice, you can't change it later. Target is one creature. Attack is +6 versus reflex, 1d10 +5, and constitution. So that's why I said like a creature or a rat or something. That's the only thing I can cast it on.
Yeah, but I'm
say
mainly
ways bloody
like
guts
if it does
splatter.
if it force damage or fire damage or what kind of, because I think it's a force damage if memory serves. I gotta look that up.
It doesn't. I'm looking at it.
Why don't you use fire? I mean, this is out of character, but why don't you use fiery bolt? It is literally
because one of my other skills is an at-will skill, and then the fiery bolt is
right. But we're not in an encounter right now.
I know, so I can't use an encounter. I could use an at-will skill.
He can use the encounter power, but I would make it take 5 minutes in-game to recharge. So, like, if you used it on the door and then the guards come running up, I would make it to where he couldn't use it.
Right, but that's fine. That's it pretty much. I mean, this is all inside baseball. I mean, you can do what you want, but that would probably be one that would actually, knock the door down. But you have some other pretty sweet shit to fuck these guards up.
But that spell in particular is only for creatures. My target is for creatures. I can't target a door because it's not a creature.
Well, right. So when those guards come around, you can use the Eldritch Blast on them all you want, because that's at will, and you can just start flaming those fuckers. But you can use the fiery bolt, and you can try and put it.
But we're wasting my fiery bolt.
Don't worry about the creature portion of it. Like, you can attack a door if you want to. That's fine.
Okay.
It's mainly saying you can't use it to shoot multiple people at once.
Oh, okay. So then I'll just try to use my Eldritch Blast then, my at-will spell at the door.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so let's play.
Like I'll shoot it at So the door, is there some kind of locking mechanism? I'm assuming there's a locking mechanism to lock
No, they
the
put a
door.
bar down on the other side. You should. But we need to reset a little bit because we've already had some character play about getting the rat there. But if you don't want to do that, we need to reset a little bit to.
Well, no, we'll reset to where instead of just blowing up a rat, I'll blow up like the base of the door. Or I'll
Hey,
try to.
hey, Eldrick, we will help you get out of this dungeon if you can help us get out of this dungeon. Up until then, we can be a team, and as soon as we're out, you can go your own way if that's what you want to do. Can you help us out with this door?
If you promise not to leave me with an arrow in my leg, yes, I will help you.
I will take you with us if you get an arrow in your leg.
Ah! I like the sound of that. So the Eldritch just goes ahead and I do an Eldritch blast at the base of the door, like kind of like the middle frame. Since I'm familiar with my street smarts, I know where they put like the boards at to lock up the door.
Nice. Give us a roll for your Eldritch Blast.
Well, it's an automatic, so I don't know what I should roll to bust that open.
There's not a roll with Eldritch Blast?
Well, there.
Yeah, it's +6 versus reflex, so D20 +6.
So roll a d20 plus 6 to see if you hit it.
All right, D20 +6. All right.
Does the door have a reflex save?
The door does have stats, yes.
Oh God! All right, this better work. I was on bitch.
Okay. You fire your blast at the door, and it slams up against it, and the door moves like it buckles against the brace on the other side, but it doesn't break, and it doesn't look like it does a whole lot of damage to it.
Alright, I step out of the way and gesture to Jogger and cheekily say, "Your turn, mate."
Okay, why are you giving Dragger a hard time?
He's gonna shoot something at the door. Watch.
He just said that he didn't want to do this, and I don't want to force him to do anything else.
Hang on. I said I couldn't do feats of strength, but I've got things that I can contribute. So
Well, hold on a second, Drog the Mighty. And I step in front of Drog the Mighty, and I look him in the eyes, and I say, "You've already had a rough night. Are you sure that you want to come with us? If you want, you could stay here. Once we get out of the dungeon, you can run to the guards and tell them what happened, and so that you can go back to your life. I don't want to force you to come with us if you don't want to."
I mean, once you guys convince me to leave the dungeon, I've had a dream. My life, I've always wanted to open up a little B&B in town. You know, bed and breakfast, cook for people, let them stay in my little building, and let them.
Well, you know it can't be. You know it can't be at this village, right?
Why not?
The guards beat you.
Because
They
the guards know. The guards think that you know what you don't.
But you told me that if I just let them see the real me, that everybody would be okay. You
And
told me that.
And they will.
Eldrick is just laughing uncontrollably right now, just about the whole conversation that's going on.
And they will. But these people are not good people, Draug.
I move forward and I shove Terran. Okay.
You need to trust me on that. And I roll a 20 plus 11 for diplomacy, and I get a. That's sorry.
17.
17. That should be a 15. I did 13.
I really think that I'm better off just staying here and hoping that this whole mess gets sorted out. I'll help you guys open the door if you really want me to, but after that, I'm just going to stay here.
I come up and shove Terran slightly out of the way to at least stand beside him and go, "Jogger, they locked you down here and dragged you away, beat you up, and locked you down here. You can stay in this town, but the guards aren't gonna be. They're not gonna let you stay with them. It's either one. It's one or the other. I mean, you can do what you want here, and just like Terran said, they'll accept you, but not with the guards."
Roll a diplomacy check.
Yeah, give me a diplomacy as well.
My diplomacy score sucks.
Well, mine.
I
That's
know.
alright. I rolled a 4.
Alright, rolling a flat 1d20. I got a 4.
Nah, like I said, I'm just gonna stay here, and I'll help you guys with the door if that's what you want. But then I'm gonna stay put and take my chances here.
We do want you to open the door, Jordan.
Alright, Drog. If you change your mind before we get out of here, I want you to know that you're welcome to come with us. And then I step out of the way and I point towards the door.
So just to clarify, who's this guy we're talking to again? So I can write his name down.
Don't worry about him. Don't worry about him.
Okay, well,
It's just
I want to roll an intimidate check to make him open the door.
he's gonna try anyways.
He's already opening the door.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave him alone.
He
Never mind.
takes a couple strides towards the door, and you see him take a deep breath, and then he blows a just insanely hot wall of fire at the door, and it's blinding. You guys can't even look at it, it's so hot. And when you hear him kind of exhale like he's done, and when you look back, the door is totally gone, and there's just ashes and cinders at the base of where the door was, and you can see the hallway extending out into the rest of the keep. And what are you guys gonna do?
I look back at Drog and say, alright, you can stay here and wait for them to come, and the guards might not be angry at you anymore. But if you come with us, you have to leave the city. And I roll a 16.
I'm gonna stay here.
Alright, turns around and looks at Baldock and looks at Ulgric and say, alright guys, which way do you want to go?
So I can use my street smarts to figure out which way is the best way to get out of the dungeons?
Nah, not while you're inside the building. Street smarts would be like once you guys get outside, then street smarts would kick in, but not yet.
Well, I wanted to try and find out where they were likely to store our weapons. We need those back before we get out.
Ask that in character.
Did he not?
No, he said Baldock would want to get this.
I thought you said I would.
Right, but just say it. Just say, I want to get my shit first before we leave. Alright.
He said, okay, but by the time I lean out and look each way down the hallway and go, I'm not leaving without my stuff that they took.
Alright, it's probably close by. It's probably in a guard room close to here. I don't think that they would put it too far. Let's look around real quick and see if we see any rooms close by.
Actually, I want to try to see if I can find my way back to the original captain's room.
Okay.
We should
As you guys
definitely not do that, because the captain is not going to understand, and they probably lied to him about us anyways. We should definitely run. If we see the captain, we can stop and talk to him, but otherwise we need to get out of here. We can get more weapons.
I need my hammer back, Taryn.
Yes, let's look for it real quick. That's around here. Do we see any closets or rooms in the area?
So you guys are sticking your head out the door?
Yeah, looking each way down the hallway.
Okay. As you guys stick your head out the door, you see a couple of guards that are patting some fire down off of themselves, and they look up and they see you, and they kind of look bewildered for a second, and then I'm going to have you guys roll for initiative, and we're going to do our first.
Talk to him?
We're going to do our first skill challenge.
Oh, a skill challenge!
What the hell is a skill challenge?
You'll find out. Just give me some initiative rolls, and I'll explain it while that's happening.
So just roll a basic D20, right?
D20 plus whatever your initiative modifier is, and then give it to me, and I'll put them in.
Alright, I rolled a 17.
I rolled a 14.
So I'm sorry, just getting
Your
out.
initiative is going to be at the very top left, right underneath your name. It's going to have a plus something, and it's going to say initiative.
Oh, damn, that sucks. Okay.
Your initiative is +1. That's what mine is. It's alright, just roll, man.
Alright, it's 6.
Okay. Alright. And Ugami is just gonna stay back in the cell with Draugr for the time being. So the three of you
So
guys,
just to clarify, I'm sorry. Ugami is one of the
he's the guy
guardsmen.
that never shows up.
Okay, that guy.
So
Okay, never mind. I was
he's kind of
making
tired
sure.
of dealing with it, so he's gonna stay in jail. So what a skill challenge is you guys are going to use your skills. If you look at your character sheet, there's the section labeled skills, and you've got acrobatics, arcana, athletics, bluff, diplomacy, dungeoneering, endurance, heal, history, insight, intimidate, nature, perception, skill, religion, stealth, streetwise, and thievery. You're going to use those skills to get out of this dungeon. And the way I'm going to do it is you guys are going to have to we'll do 6 successes before you do 3 failures. I'm going to set a DC, which is a difficulty check, and you guys are going to roll your skills, and you're going to have to match that DC or better, and then you'll describe what you do with that skill, like acrobatics, like I jump over a guard and keep running. And if you succeed, great. If not, you fail, and you got to get twice as many successes before you get failures.
Right.
And you cannot use the same skill twice.
Right. So if I wouldn't want to use intimidate because I have a +2 intimidate, but Elgric has a +8 intimidate. So we have to use ingenuity and cleverness to make our skills make sense with what we're doing. And then we roll with our skills, and then James tells us if he'll let it slide or not.
Okay, so for the Overlord, I have a Shadow Walk ability in my class. If I just move at least 3 squares away from where I started, I gain concealment until the end of my turn.
No, this isn't an encounter.
Okay.
Right, so all you're using is just your skills. You're not using anything, just your skills. And so you're going to be wanting to use your endurance and your intimidate and your streetwise. Now I don't know how you can use endurance, but you just have to like make a story like, oh, I have to run really really fast quickly because they're right behind me, and I'm going to try and run really fast to lose them. Or something, I don't know. And James will let you know, but you have to come up with a good story of why you're using that skill check. Roll the skill check, and if we get more than 4 failures before we get 6 passes, we lose the skill check.
Okay, I got it.
So we stick our head out the door. We see these guards. Bardock, it's your turn.
I'm sorry, who's the DM here?
I'm just excited. I'm sorry. I'm just excited. It's just fun getting to do my own skill check.
So you guys walk out the door. You see a couple of guards there dusting some flame and ash off of their uniforms. And Barlodock, it's your turn. What do you want to do?
Alright, we can use any skill we want.
You can use any skill you want as long as it makes sense. Like if you were to be like, I use
Nature.
nature to say, hey, how about this weather, and then tear ass down the hallway, I'm going to be like, no, because that wouldn't do anything. You need to use a skill that would actually be relevant.
Alright, well, to open it up, I actually just literally, as you said, break down the hallway using endurance. I'm just gonna run faster than they can.
Endurance is like running for a long time. Endurance is like I'm climbing a mountain for an hour. That wouldn't be like a short sprint down a hallway.
Would that be athletics then?
Yeah, that'd be more like athletics.
I literally just tear ass down the hallway.
Okay, that's fine. Give me a roll. See if it works.
19.
Okay, 19 is a success. As soon as you guys pop out, Barlodock sees the guards, and then he just bolts straight on down the hallway.
Do they run after him?
And one of them turns to run after him, and he leans back over his shoulder and talks to the other guard and says, make sure they don't get their weapons from the table. And Turin, it's your turn.
Okay. My skills are horrible for skill challenges. Diplomacy, heal, and insight. So I can tell if someone's lying to me. But,
Can't you use diplomacy to reason with them though?
yeah, but that's like talking with dude.
Like you could reason with them that if the guy's running right past them, it's like you use diplomacy to reason with them that like, hey, that something's wrong with that dude.
All right, I look at the guard and I instantly start quivering, and I act really scared. And I say, "We won't run. We don't want to die. We're just gonna stay here. You should go and help your friend, and we won't do anything if you because we don't want to get hurt." And I roll and I get a 19.
Okay, and that's on diplomacy.
That is correct. I used diplomacy.
That's going to succeed. He's going to be like, yeah, that's a good idea. You guys just stay here, and I'm going to go try to help catch the other guy. And he's going to take off, and he's going to, over his shoulder, say, please don't take your weapons. And then he's gone.
As soon as he leaves, we walk to the table, and I get Biodoc's hammer, and I get my whatever the fuck I have, mace, and then I nod to the table. Hey, Ulrich, you can get what you want, man. And I start running in the direction of where Biodoc went.
Did you grab my javelin and sling too?
I sure did.
Okay.
Okay, Eldrick, it is your turn.
Alright, so I grab my, let me make sure what gear I have. I think it's just the hand staff or something. I grab my, my little staff off of the table. And so there's another guard up ahead before we get out?
Well, he's already running. He's off, and I'm running after him. So you could...
So I guess more
Two
my
guards have
question
taken
is,
off down the hallway, running after Barlodoc. Turin's running after them, and you're in the back right now. So you need to come up with a scenario, figure out how to use a skill. Or you can create your own obstacle and roll a skill for it. That's fine.
Okay, hang on. Alright, I think I got one. Okay. I'm gonna do a bluff check on so when Ulrich is running down the hallway and I pass by a guard, I'm just gonna tell the guard like, oh, the guy that's in the cell right now that didn't want to come with us, that he's conjuring some kind of beast inside the cell, and that they need to go down there right now to stop him from conjuring this beast. And I have a bluff of +8, so I'm gonna use that.
Okay, roll it up.
These do.
Should be good. 19!
Hey!
You guys are just rolling solid 19s. The guard goes, "Oh my God, that's terrible!" and he hauls ass towards the dungeon.
All right.
All right, Barlock, it's back to you. You managed to make it back towards ground level of this compound, and you run out into the main hall towards where the door to the outside is. And there are 3 guards in there, and they're milling around doing guardly things. And they don't seem to notice you right when you come in, but you gotta get through this room to get outside.
What does the room look like? Is it like cluttered? Is it just a straight hallway?
It's like an entryway. There's not a lot of clutter there. Just a couple of benches. There's like a main desk where one of the guards is sitting, doing some sort of paperwork, and then the other 2 guards are standing around talking to each other.
Alright. I actually... I have bad skills for this too. Give me a moment.
What's your highest skill?
Right now, endurance.
But you used endurance already, didn't you?
No, I used athletics.
Yeah.
How's your intimidate? I don't think anyone's been intimidated yet.
No, my intimidate is just a +0. Alright, I actually slow down and stop running and use insight to see if they're actually going to stop me from, like, would that be inside a bluff? I'm gonna look like I belong there and walk towards the door calmly.
That would be a bluff.
Not my best skill, but alright. 1d20 plus 0. I bluff at 14.
You say, do you say anything, or do you just kind of strut out there all confident
I
like?
just strut out there confidently.
Okay. The guards take a look at you, and they kind of look at each other like, is he really gonna? And then they yell, the prisoner has escaped, and they draw their swords and start running towards you, and that's going to be your guys' first failure.
How many do we have again?
Right now you have 3 successes to 1 failure.
Okay.
All right. What skills do we have left?
Are you talking about like the whole group? What we have left?
Like, what have you
Yeah. Are you
used, or?
Yeah. Are you keeping track? Like.
Yeah. So for me, I use bluff, but I still got a +8 for endurance, a +8 for intimidate,
That's
and
fine.
a +8 for streetwise.
Yeah, he's used bluff, you've used diplomacy, Steven's used athletics, and then Steven also tried to use bluff and failed.
Bluff. Yeah.
Give me just a second. Austin, do you have a join in progress link that I can send? Because one of my friends he just wants to watch. He's not going to say anything. He's not going to.
Yeah, what's his email address?
I'm trying to get that from him right now.
Hey, I'm gonna be right back.
We can take like a couple minute break because I kind of need to use the restroom too.
Yeah, 5-minute human break.
5-minute break?
Yeah.
All right, break.
Hey, Craig.
Yep.
So you should download that podcast I was talking about, Drunks and Dragons.
Drunks and Dragons.
They do, because like they've done a couple of skill checks, but not very often. But basically, you can make up. That's like what James said. You can make up a situation for you to use a skill, and so basically, it's just whatever you can think of, and it's just gives the characters a chance to sort of make it up as they go and to use some creativity.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good method to use, like in this situation, like we're trying to get out of a dungeon, and James is like, "Well, I don't know." It's basically like rolling a dice of like whether we can get it out or not, but we get to make it up as we go and use our skills, and they're just a lot of fun. But the first time, I mean, it's Drunks and Dragons. They just have all of these elements of play in it, and it's also just hilarious. If you
Looking it up right now.
I mean, that's why we did our like. There are other Dungeons and Dragons podcasts that take themselves very seriously, and
Is
everything.
it on Geekly Inc.?
Yes, it is. That is their website where they have a bunch of stuff.
Is it all free? Is it like fucking like 174 episodes?
Yeah, it's all free. It's a podcast. Podcasts are free.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you can just download them and put them on. You don't have an Apple, do you?
No. I mean, I have like an iPhone, so I guess I could download that.
Yeah,
I don't know if that still works.
What do you mean you have an iPhone and you don't know if that stuff works?
No, I mean, like, you get like your iPhone app onto the computer, like iTunes or whatever, and then you could download it from there and put it on.
That should work.
Okay. Have you looked at a Geek and Sundry's Critical Role?
No?
It's pretty good. It's like a bunch of voice actors in the video game and anime business, and they come together and like they make their own little crazy ass campaign. It's pretty awesome. Like they're all very good, talented voice actors, and they make some pretty awesome voices for the characters.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'll bookmark these guys. I'm trying to think. Like I have a +6 Arcana. I'm just wondering what the hell I could do with that.
It's magic. You can use the magic.
I know, but like,
That's not what Arcana actually does. They do it wrong.
yeah, it's more like a knowledge check of Arcana. It's
Yeah.
not like I could do anything I want. It's more like I could be like, hey, that thing looks weird. It's doing something weird. I'm gonna look into it.
Alright.
I guess the Overlord will say what I can use that for.
Yeah, it's like for detecting magic and magical history, and that's his email address in the Roll20 chat.
So I'll use glove. Okay.
So there is a link that I can send him that he can just watch, or he can
Okay.
get in the chat with us and then just mute everything. Do you care?
I mean, I'd like to be able to actually talk to him at some point and have
Okay.
him talk back. So he said he'll behave. I've played PlayStation stuff with him.
Behave.
Oh, there's a space there.
Yeah, it's kickinghawk at Comcast.net, but I accidentally just sent the kicking hawk part before I.
All right, invite sent.
So we're just waiting for Steven to come back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so he failed one of the skill checks. So
Well, it wasn't a very good skill check because he was just gonna walk out.
Yeah, but does that like mean like he's in automatic, like he has to roll for initiative, or?
No, it's in a skill challenge. It's unless you guys get all 3 failures, you'll succeed in what you're trying to do, which is escape the dungeon. Then once you've successfully escaped, then we'll worry about what happens next after that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's up to you, Austin, to fix the situation because you're running up there you're going to be the first one there, so you got to fix it.
Yeah, I got an idea. I know. I think I've got. I know I'm gonna try.
I think I'm okay if you mess up because I have an intimidate of +8. But I don't know. It depends how bad you mess up.
Look at
I
the
hope you
kitty.
don't mess up.
Look at the kitty.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, Steven's back.
Yeah, I want to see
Okay.
if my friend can connect before we kick going, because
Yeah.
I'd rather
That's fine.
explain everything to him before we start rolling again.
I'm on beer number 7, so I'm good.
What?
I'm on
How
number
mu- how-
4.
What's the percent alcohol content in what you're drinking?
I don't know.
Mine are like 8.
I think the percentage is awesome. So far it's good. I'm a big guy, so it takes a lot.
I'm
Even
the
though I'm
only
playing a
sober
dwarf,
person here.
I mean, that's fine. Different strokes, right?
Absolutely.
like I could put if I could put alcohol on my tea, like a shot of whiskey.
Come on, Daniel.
Austin, please don't screw this up.
Thanks, man.
You have one job, one job.
Right now, my biggest, my next biggest one after diplomacy is heal.
I'm
God,
thinking of using
oh,
heal
we're gonna
too.
fail.
James,
I don't
Yeah.
think I'm gonna be able to
can
fix
we
this
use,
situation.
let's say we
You
go,
can-
okay, heal is anatomy. Can we use a heal check to disable somebody, like hit them in the kidney?
Absolutely not.
No, we'd have to actually heal someone.
Well, the heal check is not magical at all.
Well, no. You could actually heal someone if they were sick.
Can I choke you out using bandages?
No, that makes no sense.
Can I stab you right in the artery because I know just where it is?
Why would you do that?
Because they're trying to put us in jail and we're homeless.
What do you mean? We're all trying to get out alive.
Hey, he says he's trying to join, but he's just getting a black screen. Any idea why that would be?
I don't actually know definitively if this works with non-Gmail accounts. So I will send him another link of what it wouldn't need a Gmail account.
Oh, right, this is attached to my Gmail account, isn't it? I usually use Live.
Yes, you do, but we don't use it anymore.
Yes, we do.
I didn't send it there. Oh.
I asked him if he has a Google account.
See, what do I have here? I used athletics and I used bluff. I have acrobatics, but it's just a 0 because of my armor penalty.
Yeah, you can do
Arcana-
a backflip and clap your hands and be like, "Oh, that's awesome," and just walk
All right,
away.
James. I sent him 2 links. One link he can join, and the other link is meant so that he can just watch, and then he can try and do something with a Gmail account. All he has to do is hit that link. So if he wants, he can create a Gmail account, and then just click that link.
He said he has one. I'm asking him what that is, and I'll have him send the link to his Gmail. Or maybe he'll forward it to himself and figure it out on his own. Who knows?
Yeah, because the link isn't specific to anything like that.
Yeah, it's just that most of my applicable skills here have very low bonuses. You know?
Yeah, well, everybody's good at something different.
Now, if I could just, activate one of my encounter powers, but
Nah,
half
man,
of
that's why it's a skill challenge, not a combat.
Yeah, how many of my active powers actually slow people? Nature's abundance is cover. Full of Windle's herald is slow. Roots of stone is knocking prone. Earthgrasp strike is knocking
Are you
prone.
trying to use your powers for the skill check?
No, I can't. I'm just looking at all the things I have that mess up people's movement.
So I want to try and use a heal check. A heal check.
God. Oh,
It's a +10, so I can
no,
if I use it, it will work most likely. I just have to think of a way to make it work.
Hey, are you using sunblock? Your skin's very dotted.
So I'm thinking of trying to see an ailment on one of the guards, and
So
then
that's a perception check, or a.
and then offer to heal him if he'll let us go.
Oh,
Would that fly, James?
That seems like deception, heal, and diplomacy all at the
yeah,
same time.
it feels like you're using 2 skills for
Yeah,
one.
one skill at a time, champ.
And I can't use diplomacy again, obviously,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Because I already used
You,
it.
you
And
made
How
that
do
guy
you
run
guys
after
have
me.
How do you guys have bad skill checks? Like I had 3 +8s and then a +6.
I have, what do I have? See, I have +9 endurance, +8 heal, +8 nature, +8 perception, +5 athletics. If I
I
wasn't,
feel like in nature you could have been like, could you use like an animal or something? Like say there's an animal running by, or
nature would probably let me actually try to tame an animal.
that's true. That's true. Yeah.
I would have a +8 in athletics, but I have a -3 armor penalty, so it's only +5 right now. And then all my other skills are +3 or below.
Okay.
So like literally, I've got +0 acrobatics, +1 arcana, +0 diplomacy, +3 dungeoneering, +1 history, +3 insight, +0 intimidate, +1 religion, +0 stealth, +2 streetwise,
Wait.
+0 thievery.
So the last thing that you rolled, what was the plus? Was it just a straight D20 and that was it?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Who are we waiting for? Are we still waiting for James's friend to come in?
I'm gonna go ahead and go because I haven't heard from him in a while. If he figures it out, we'll
That's
stop
fine. Yeah.
down and deal with it when it happens. So,
Yeah.
coming back in, we were at Turin.
Yeah.
Turin, you just walked into a room where a bunch of guards wondered why Barladoc thought he could just strut right on out the door. And what are you gonna do?
There's a reason I wasn't trying to hurry anything along.
Oh, good fuck. Just do it.
There's nothing to do.
There's nothing to do. Just do it.
Charisma's not a will or a skill. Otherwise, I try and use charisma on them.
What's your charisma?
It's not a skill.
Okay, that's true. Yeah. Man, you guys are bad.
Fuck you.
I just
Freaking-
love my character. He has
Freaking
better
fucking
skill
little
checks.
dwarf just laughing at everything that we do.
You're like 4 feet tall. I could use you as a
I
stool.
have so many awesome skill checks. Like, God, like if I save you guys, I should get a medal.
My skills are tailored to an entirely different game. I come from a forest.
I know your skill comes from like killing a plant that hasn't had too much water, or
No, I come from a magical supernatural forest filled with fairies and dryads and evil
All right.
elves.
All right, let's do a moment of silence real quick so I can find
Okay.
this. I can find this
Okay.
place easier. So let's just be quiet because I know what I want to do now. All right. I come running around the room. I come running around the hallway into the room, and I see Baladok with these 2 guards in front of him. And I try and throw him his hammer, which is and I'm using acrobatics.
Okay, how's that gonna help you guys escape?
to give him his hammer so he can fight them if he needs to.
You can absolutely throw him his hammer, but that's not a skill. I'm not gonna let you. I mean, because that's not advancing your escape, really.
That's fine.
So, try again. And can you send my friend another email?
To different, yeah. Send me the different email address.
God, you're gonna kill us. I think you might just need to roll something you don't have.
Well, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna roll something that I only have a +1 in.
Yeah.
I only had a +1 in athletics.
I sent you that link.
Oh, that's just.
It's gonna suck for me. Why did I have to be last?
Alright, sent. Alright, I try and use acrobatics to sort of run around Turin and then jump over the guards, stepping on them using my elven acrobatics.
Oh, please do.
That's what I'm going to try and run and do some parkour shit to use the room, what's around me, and to sort of jump over them. And that is... Oh! Natural 20! So, 21.
Okay. Explain to me how you make that happen.
I come running around the corner and I see Barlowdock in a tight situation. As I'm running, I toss him his hammer, and as I slide underneath him, and then I jump onto the table next to the guards, running over the wall a little bit on the side, and then I sort of do a backflip behind them, and then I open the door and start running outside.
You don't get to open the door with your acrobatics check, but yeah, you totally make it on the other side. You're at the door. That's fine. If you wanted to maybe like jump through a window, that would still be acrobatics, but...
I want to jump through the window that's by the door.
Okay, that's fine. Turin has busted through one of the windows and jumped outside. Eldrick, you walk up on that, and what are you going to do? You see a couple guards move over towards the window, and you see them looking at what's happened outside, and one of the other guards is still focused on Barlowdock.
Okay, so I'm gonna run up there and be like, "Damn it, man! What are you doing? There's a demon being summoned in the jail cells down below. Hurry!"
I don't think you can use bluff again.
No, I'm using intimidate. Can I intimidate them to run down there? Kind of like.
Can you make it sound more intimidating, and as opposed to you bluffing that there's a demon downstairs?
Okay. What are you men doing? Your friend's downstairs dying all alone. Are you just cowards?
I'm happy with that. Roll me an intimidate.
So I got a +8 to be 20. $15.
Alright, that's going to be another failure. The guards are going to turn around away from the window and rush at you with their swords drawn. Barlowdock, it is your turn.
Are we at 4 successes, 2 failures now?
Yes, you are.
Ooh. Alright. I want to set up a conference and use religion and talk to them until they fall asleep.
If you can religiously convince them that you need to leave, I'll let you do that.
I don't think I'm gonna actually.
Your cleric just jumped out the window.
Would I be able to cast Shadow Walk?
No.
No, you can't cast any spells.
I can still do athletics even though Turin did, correct?
You used athletics right out the door to bolt down the hall.
Oh right, I did. I was thinking acrobatics.
Austin, did you give him just the view only link?
No, I sent it to him in the.
Because he says he can see and hear us, but I don't see him in the chat.
I sent it the same way I sent it to you guys.
Hmm.
What am I going to do? All my stats are low.
What's your next highest stat?
But didn't he already jump out the window? Like, or was that like Turin that jumped
I
out?
did that. I jumped out the window.
Can't you
Use
call
that.
like a nature or like a bird to go pick out their eyes?
Use that religion, man. Try and tell them that you are a religious person that's going to go and try and going to go defeat the Oni with your religious skills and stuff.
All right, Barlodock, I'm gonna need you to make a decision. Let's move this along.
All right. Let's move it along.
Do it. What are you gonna do? You do intimidate.
My intimidate is +0.
Sounds good.
Engineering doesn't even apply here, does it?
Not so much. What skills do you have that are not 0?
Let's see. I mean, it's when I'm still wearing all my armor, aren't I? So, acrobatics is 0, arcana is 1, arts athletics, arts bluff, diplomacy is 0, dungeoneering is 3, endurance is 9, heal is 8, insight is 3, nature is 8, perception is 8, streetwise is 2, religion is 1, history is 1.
Why'd you just start doing push-ups and do push-ups? Do so many push-ups. They'd be like, "Do you guys see how many push-ups I'm doing? You guys do not want to fuck with me. Do you guys see all these push-ups I'm doing? You do not want to fuck with me." And then try and use your endurance to scare them. That won't work. James won't let that happen.
Yeah, use. Let me.
We're doomed.
I'm
You
almost
gotta figure out
thinking.
something to use, man. This has been a while. Come on.
Alright, I'm almost thinking of just trying to. No, that still be bluff. Why is everything's bluff? Alright, I'm gonna go with acrobatics too, even though it's just a +0. I'm gonna go with acrobatics and try to literally dart around them and take out the other window.
Okay, I forgot something that's actually pretty important. You guys have action points. You can spend an action point to essentially buy up a failure. So
Yes, we do have one.
I forgot about that.
Well, how would I use that in my circumstance?
It's basically if you do something and you fail, you can burn an action point, and I won't count the failure against you. And you can
And we get
do
an
something
action
else.
point every milestone.
Or long rest. I'm gonna let you have.
Right.
So you guys just had a long rest. So you would all have action points.
Yeah, let's just do Steven, since my time already passed, so whatever he does.
Yeah, so come up with something, Steven. We have 3 action points we can use.
If you fail, you use your action point. Do it, Steven.
Yeah, I'm gonna do acrobatics and literally spin around to these guys and leave them in the dust.
Okay, good luck.
Thank
Okay,
you.
roll it.
Just roll good. That's all you gotta do. It's easy.
Well, since I'm wearing my armor, I have no bonus to the thing. 7.
Okay. You trip, fall, and sprawl out along the floor. Do you want to use your action point, or do you want
Yes.
to? Okay. Um.
And so I use my action point and I roll back to my feet. Right?
Yeah.
Roll.
Turin, you jumped out the window and you're outside. What are you gonna do to help your friends that are still on the inside?
Doesn't he go again with using the action point?
Yeah. I guess that's right. You want to use something that's probably got a little bit higher chance of success there, champion? I didn't hate your religion idea. If you want to try to preach to him, by all means.
Do it.
Can I take a second and tell you about my Lord and God, Utgard? He is a benevolent and wise God. And you should let me go. Or my God is my God's a mean God, and he'll fuck you up if you don't let me go.
It sounds like more like a bluff, but okay.
just make it, yeah. Just try and make it work, and then just think of something. But
Alright. I take a deep breath as I hold myself back to my feet and reach out towards the guards, and I say, "Don't you know not to touch a cursed lad?" Yeah, starting over. Say, don't you know not to touch someone who's cursed? I have failed in my duties, and unless you let me leave this house, damnation will fall on you all. Yes, no?
Roll your religion.
Roll it and let me know.
14.
fuck.
Damn it.
Alright, that's going to be another failure.
Religion sucks.
The guards are going to walk up and basically all just tackle Barladoc and dogpile on top of him. Turin, what are you going to do? Because you're outside.
Didn't we just fail the skill check?
Yeah, but you're outside, so I want to know what you want to do.
I'm going to. How many? I don't know. I didn't look behind me. As far as I know, they were right behind me. So I'm running, trying to get out of the town.
So you're just going to keep on going? You're going to leave them behind?
Well, I don't know that they're not following me, do I?
I mean, you can turn around and look.
I don't want to mix. Well, I just did a bunch of sweet acrobatics to get out there. I'm not exactly trying to. Like, I would have run to. So I'm going to run somewhere safe and then turn around.
Okay, so you're okay. That's fine. Elgric, you see all the guards advance upon and dogpile on Barladoc. You want to try to do anything to help him, or are you just going to run right past and go outside too?
Roll for initiative. Fuck it. Let's do it.
So I have my last main skill, Streetwise, is +8. So could I come up with a story that's saying like he is some kind of nobleman and that it will be I don't know.
Oh, the skill challenge is done. You guys failed it, so I just want to know.
Oh, so we failed completely.
Oh yeah.
Okay, hang on. Let me look at my skills real quick.
So skills are over. It's just time to say. No, it's not time to say Charlotte.
You wouldn't want to let Ulrich try one more time because he didn't get to use action point, would you?
Yeah, I'll give you guys one failure back because I forgot the action points thing. So.
Because I didn't fail anything.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Elgric, not Ulrich. Stop saying it wrong. Elgric. You can go ahead and go again. That's a good point. I forgot the action points thing, so I'll grandfather that in.
So I can use the streets thing and just make up a story like he is some kind of high lord son.
That'd be tough.
But it's streetwise. How would I use?
Streetwise is knowing your way around town.
If you needed to, like, if we were trying to follow you and the guards were chasing us, and you need to know the best way to get somewhere where they couldn't follow us. Like, you might want to try and use intimidate to try and be like the captain is appointed.
He's already used intimidate. And he's already used bluff.
He's bluff.
All right, what's your next highest thing?
Streetwise and then Arcana at +6.
Oh, those don't do any good.
I know.
Drag me out and we'll just hide somewhere.
Yeah, you could try and use endurance to try and like physically hold on to him longer, dragging him out.
Could I do that? James?
If you're gonna pick him up and drag him for a long period of time, or do something that's gonna require a lot of strength, yeah, like lifting all the guards off of him, I'll give you endurance for that. That'd be fine.
Endurance? Okay.
Yeah.
So Algric is just gonna, just sprint through, try to pick him up and go, kind of like a fumbled football, and see how this goes. All right, so I want to make sure my skill is. It is endurance is +8. Oh, please roll 20. Just don't be a douche. 20.
Hey.
You bend down, or describe how you succeed. I won't do that. You do it.
Okay. So I run down and I see like the guards are like tackling him down. And I'm like, come on, lass, let's go. So I just like grab him and I pick him up from like his underwear, from his undergarments. So it's kind of like a wedgie all the way through because I didn't care how I picked him up. So I just grab him from his undergarments both, and I just kind of like truck through the two guards, and then I jump out the same window that Torin has jumped out to follow him through.
Okay, so you guys have all made it outside now. And
Yeah.
Turin, that's going to make it your turn. What do you guys want to do to kind of get away from the building and get to safety? Or no, Barlodock, it's your turn.
Yeah, I was about to
I apologize.
say. No, it's, yeah.
So, Barlodock, what are you going to do to help your crew get to safety?
Alright.
What's
Can
your
I...
street?
I mean, my streetwise is only +2, but wouldn't perception do well for seeing what's the quicket for whether there's an open path away?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm going to use perception to see which path we should take away from the building that brings us out of sight first.
Roll it up.
If this messes up, I'm going to be so upset because I have a whopping +8 in perception.
You should.
1d20 plus 8, 19.
Okay. So, you look around and you don't really see any super obvious ways to get out of there, and you're despairing. You're like, oh man, we are so screwed. And you see guards closing in from every angle, and right when you're about to lose all hope, this carriage, led by a couple of horses, runs down the street, and it tramples a few guards, and it stops right in front of you guys, and the door flies open, and you hear a voice from the inside say, "Get in."
I get in.
We jump in the carriage. We do this flying leap.
Okay. And that's where we're going to call it for this evening.
Nice.
Wait, I need to fix my wedgie first. Can I do that?
That would be painful. Just 2 weeks with the wedgie.
Okay. So that was a combat light encounter, but I just really wanted to do a skill challenge this week, so that was it.
That was it. And now we're in some random carriage. I almost thought Drago was going to be in it, to be honest. I thought he would have finally gotten some guts. And
So I guess we should do the end of watch kind of stuff. So this is going to be our.
Does everyone have a Twitter account?
I do.
Oh,
I do.
do I have to make one? Yes, I suppose I should.
Yes.
I always say I will, but I haven't yet. Next time, folks.
Well, it should only take a couple seconds to make one real quick, right?
Uh,
I mean, you can just. It's not a big deal right now. He can have one next time. So if you want to get in touch with us when we get this thing out into the wild someday, the podcast itself has a Twitter of @LousyBumsPod, or you can get in touch with me, the DM, personally at Pilgrim's Peace.
I do not have a Twitter yet.
I got a twatter. I can do it.
Okay, so nobody else but me has Twitter. Cool. Hopefully they'll get some someday, or maybe they'll never stay on Twitter at all. I don't know. But until next time, I'll think of a sign off before next time.
Stay lousy.
so we don't have a Twitter,
lousy.
you don't have a sign-off.
I'm sorry, I'm lousy at this.
Stay lousy. That's what.
You're from...
Stay lousy.
And we'll go ahead and cut it there.
Do you want to have a good sign off? You want to try it again?
I mean, it can be screwy the first couple episodes. That's fine. I mean, I still haven't